Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to talk about really appreciating your gifts. We all as human beings have gifts. God has given us gifts before coming on into this beautiful lifetime. So it got me thinking because so many people ask me, when did you know, Susan, that you had your gift? I said, I knew pretty much my whole life. When I was 6, I saw dead people, and that's when I started to realize when my grandfather died between a spirit and, the living. But, a lot of people, when I start doing sessions and so many things that I state come true, and I hear from people 6 months, a year, 2 years, and I've been getting this even more so. Oh my God, what you said came true, word for word, 2 years later, 3 years later, 5 years later. And I had a wonderful session with a client, and she says to me, this has got to be really hard for you to see what you see because it's not always nice. I said, you're right, it's not. And she goes, do you ever value it as like a curse? I said, no, never in my life have I ever thought that. I thought, I think about this all the time, how lucky I am that God gave me this. It's really true. When I say that, it's everything. And knowing what I do with it is priceless. Because if I can help people, that's the main goal, helping people. So when you're bestowed a gift, I don't care if you're an artist, if you're a woodworker, if you love to work with your hands, these are things that God created in you before coming here. So for all of you that have children, start looking at the beautiful gifts that your children do and put aside time for your child to really explore them. I remember when my daughter started to draw and she started to play the piano at school, and we didn't even own a piano, but yet she played the whole Yanni did this whole piece because every day I would play the Yanni CD in the car. And one day I got a call from the headmaster saying that, do you know that your daughter can play? And I said, my daughter doesn't know how to play. I said, we don't even own a piano. He goes, I recorded her. She was playing. And I said, are you kidding? And he goes, no. And from that time on, I said, okay. So I told my husband. We went to the music store. I rented the piano for about a month because I wanted to see what my daughter was going to do with it. And presto, she was doing it like she had been taking lessons her whole life. Not one lesson, can't read a note, but can hear every note. So interesting that I want to say this. So what did I do? I just started to set her up for all of these beautiful things. She also could draw like nobody can. It's just beautiful. 3 years old, my husband and I, we went to a fine dining restaurant and she was bored. So there was a pen on the table that the waiter had left. And she took the pen, and I did not realize what she was doing because I was talking to other people in our party, and she was sitting there, and she ended up sketching the waiter's face on the tablecloth. And I'm like, oh my God. But it wasn't just, little things, it wasn't scribbles. It was an actual beautiful sketch of his face. And I remember saying to the waiter, I will pay for the tablecloth. I'm sorry. He said, your daughter did this? He goes, how old are you? And she goes, free. She couldn't say 3, free, she said. And he says, may I keep this? And I said, yeah. And I looked and there it was. So I remember in my laundry room, I had set an extension and I had really put an art studio there for her. And I told her she could do whatever she wants. If she spilled paint, whatever, I wasn't going to get mad at her. The moral of the story is this child created so many different things and I appreciated her talent. And the more that I exposed her to the right type of people that would help her enhance her gifts, well, she's a beautiful, beautiful artist today and still creating. So when you have a gift, don't look at it as you're taking it for granted, but don't ever think of it as a curse. Think of it as it's a well-bestowed blessing from God and the universe. So know your gifts, but do something with them. There's so many people that I can see that they have a gift and they do nothing with them until I start telling them what I can see. And then all of a sudden they're doing it. And I get these beautiful emails or even more sessions, and they're telling me what they do with these gifts since I gave them the belief that they could do it. So think about that. It's quite enlightening, but your gifts are part of who you are. Your gifts are embedded into you, and it's up to you to take it to the next level. So don't take it for granted. Don't ever take you for granted, because you are pretty special. Until next time, subscribe to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. More videos will be coming. Keep the questions coming. And you know what? I wish you a creative week. Take care. Bye-bye.